Hey, morning everybody. So here we are with my usual co-host, Rico, and Rico is like infamous for having to be, he knows when the live stream starts. Morning, everybody. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Shelly. Hey, everybody. Eva. Good morning, everybody. Morning, Sharon. So we're sitting here. Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. Merry Christmas Eve. This morning we have Milo's coffee mug. Hi. And with our regular co-host, Rico. And also this morning we have Amanda, who has, she's part of our enrichment team here. So this is the first time I've done a coffee with the critters without like Deb Jones, you know, she's usually the only one I've ever done coffee with the critters with. So yay, welcome.
Thanks.
Hey everybody, hey Joe. What? So this morning we picked this topic in particular. Our coffee with the critters every week now is scheduled. You'll see events on our Facebook page, and we have the topics lined up. You can see it on our website, theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. Or you can, you see Shelly saying hi? Yeah. So every month we're going to bring you, we've got interviews lined up. We're going to bring you 4 different topics every month. One is going to be a topic, one is going to be an interview, one is going to be a Q&A, and one will be on enrichment. So this is the morning on enrichment, and we figured it would be the perfect time because it's the holiday season. I'm sure you guys are already having family gatherings, especially today and tomorrow. Yeah, so we've got enrichment, do-it-yourself enrichment picked out for all different types of animals. That is what we focus on here at the Animal Behavior Center. Our primary goal is we like to show people how to empower the lives of their animals, and one way we do that is training, but not the only way. We do it with enrichment. So enrichment should be a part of every behavior modification plan. And Amanda here is usually in the other room all the time making enrichment. A lot of the volunteers were getting over here doing the training. And haven't you seen a difference in all the animals since everybody's...
Big difference.
Yeah. So training does make a huge difference, but we can't be training all the time. So when we can't train, that's where the enrichment fits in. Hey, yes, enrichment for you too, Pat. So we're sitting here. We're going to show you enrichment for parrots, for pigs. Milo's in there somewhere, right there. We've got the dogs out here with us, 2 of them. And we even have Murray out here with us this morning. Right, Murray? So Murray's going to be our... What do you think? You ready for some enrichment? Yes? So as we show you this enrichment we make, we are also going to give it to the animals and show you how they interact with it. And we're going to show you different ways to make it more complex, because providing the same enrichment all the time gets very boring. And studies show that with predictability comes boredom. So when we're interacting with or watching enrichment with our animals, if they're not interacting with it, the mammals, like within a couple of minutes, or the birds within a day, we take it out and modify it, because just because what you think might be enrichment, it may not be enrichment for the animal. The animal is always the one that determines the enrichment. And enrichment is individualized, okay? We're going to show you what might be right for one animal could be totally different for another animal. I've got to make sure Murray does not get my camera. He's on his way down. So obviously he's finding the proximity to the volunteers and the animals as enriching. So we have a whole set up here right in front of us. Amanda and I are going to get started on showing the different things we do, different things you have around your house that can be turned into easy enrichment. Before we get going any further, I just want to introduce myself for those that may be new. Good morning, Tim. Good morning, Vanessa. My name is Lara Joseph, owner of the Animal Behavior Center. We're an international educational center teaching people around the world via our live streams. I don't compete with that. Via our live streams, how to work with applied behavior analysis and positive reinforcements with the animals in our care. And we do that through our projects and our memberships. You can find out more about those on our website at theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. Okay, and it's not too late. We've got people buying gift vouchers for our projects and our memberships for the holidays. You can have that gift in their stocking within 1 hour. Good morning, Karen. There's our manager. Okay, so we've got all kinds of stuff here lined up on this table and the table behind us. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with yours, since yours is probably the most time sensitive.
Okay.
Okay, we showed this in the snow project the other day, but Amanda took this home and put it together. But how I identify enrichment is based on the individual animal, their capabilities, with their history and learning, their behaviors. So it snowed here the other day, and Snow, our deaf and blind puppy, went out onto the deck, and she saw there was a piece of ice around our patio furniture, and she started really digging at it. And I'm sitting there looking at her, so I was like, okay, let's get her some ice. Let's provide some ice. So let me see if I can move this camera down, and Amanda's going to tell us how she put this together. So this was a tin that my sister brought over full of Christmas cookies. We ate it, and I didn't know what to do with it afterwards because I don't cook. So I talked to Amanda, and I said, let's turn this into some type of foraging block. Now, this could be for any animal. We do the ice with the birds. We do it with the turkey vulture. You want to go ahead and talk about what you did?
So it's just layers of ice with Bill Jack toys, treats. So I put maybe
somebody's interested.
A half inch of water in, and then dumped a bunch of treats in, let it freeze totally, added another half-inch layer of water, dumped in more treats, tried to spread them out as much as I could, let it freeze, several layers, and then this is what we have.
Because if you filled this full of water, and then the whole thing full of water, and then decided to put the treats in it, what would have happened?
They would have all sunk to the bottom, and then it's less effective.
Yeah. So, yep. This way, you guys hear me talk about intermittent schedules of reinforcement, meaning. That's what foraging does. Foraging is the act of searching for food. That's what foraging does, is it releases food at intermittent schedules, nothing necessarily on time. So that helps keep the animal engaged. When I used to make foraging toys as a business, I always called them time-released treat dispensers. Yeah. But it's the animal interacting with the object to get the treats. And also studies show that animals prefer enrichment that move and change shape. So this block of ice is definitely something that changes shape with each time they interact with it, and as it melts. Okay, so
and then I think, if I'm not mistaken, let's say it's for snow, even though I saw Quincy interacting with the one last time, but as they get used to maybe this form of enrichment, one way to maybe shape complexity is fill it all with water, let them all sink to the bottom, and so she maybe has to dig through a really large layer of ice to get to the toys, the treats.
So it takes her
what it is.
Yeah. I like that. So we're always talking here about increasing complexity. because this can get boring really fast. So Amanda brought up the topic of making it harder, more challenging, make the ice deeper so they have more to dig through. And we did videos of Snow interacting with this, and that's exactly what she started doing.
Yeah.
Was digging into it.
Yeah.
So that's how you pay attention to the individual animal and their behaviors to increase complexity. So, do you want to go ahead and set this on the ground, and we'll give it to one of the dogs?
Yeah.
Let me take this camera off. Flip this around. There we go. Oops. Quincy's like, oh, I'm all about that. Something else you can do, and before I go any further, I want to say no enrichment is 100% safe. So just keep an eye. If you're not sure about the animal, keep an eye on, thanks, photobomb, video bomb. Keep an eye on your animal with the enrichment to make sure they're not ingesting things they shouldn't ingest. Let's just see what she does with this. We can leave it in the pan. Last time we got it out of the pan. Let's leave it in for the sake of the floor and us slipping on the concrete, see what happens. But she's going to start getting to those treats here fairly quickly. And with that being said, a couple other things. You could do this with, morning Debbie. We did this with the parrots. I'm not sure you were here when we did it with the parrots. We took small chunks of ice, we drilled holes through them, stuck them on skewers. In the ice we had berries, bananas, different types of fruits and vegetables, and we hung it in the birds' cages. So it melted, but it took time to melt. We do this with Willie, the turkey vulture. We will put mice in blocks of ice and give it to her. We have some wildlife enrichment for you guys as well. So back on the point of saying that I've seen some people not provide enrichment because it's dangerous for the animal. I'm telling you, well, use your own judgment, but I think it's a sadder life for the animals to have no enrichment. Yeah, so everything, just be careful with what you provide. Like with the birds, we cut off like long pieces of ropes. There's certain types of rope we use that if for some reason they got tangled up in it, it's hollow so they can chew through it. Right, Murray? But I want to show you, based on ice cubes, let me take you over here. This is something we did in the parrot project a while ago. And we put, this is a bunch of Graywood Manors teas into ice cubes, and I did this the same way we did, that Amanda did with the ice block over there. We did it in layers. We put in pine nuts. What do you think, Murray? Let's take one of these out and give it to Murray. We did pine nuts. Amanda, would you want to do this? Pop one of those out of there. Let's hand it to Murray and see what he does. So he's watching. All right, you want me to hand it to him?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm not really sure what's on this one. There's not. You want to try that? He's like, that's cold. Let's get one with some more like pine nuts or something on it. And we can stick these, we made these to stick them in their water dishes. So once they go in the water dishes, those are herbal teas specifically designed by Graywood Manor. And once those teas release into the water, there's health benefits to the animal. Murray's like, no, I'll take my tea hot, please, thank you. Well, let's see what anybody else does with it. So maybe we do this with dog treats. You and I discussed about doing this in smaller containers for the dogs. Now, Snow loves to chew on ice, so we could easily do this for Snow. So let's try one for Milo. Thanks.
Milo actually was interacting with that thing we made for Snow the other day. After it got a little bit more melty,
Okay.
he was interacting with it.
Okay.
Chewing at it and everything.
Okay. Well, let's try this with Milo. So Milo's in here foraging through some old foraging toys. Want to try that? So you can even put their, we could even put their kibble. If you feed your dogs kibble, we could put their kibble in ice, his pellets in ice. So look, this is going to be a long-lasting piece of enrichment. So we can keep coming back to this, but let me scoot this out of the side so we can get back to our table. So Milo's still over there chewing on the ice cube. You want to hand me one of those, and I'm going to stick it in somebody's water. You can stick these in the water dish, your dog's water dish, because these teas are good for, there's teas in here. It's specially made for parrots, but definitely not limited to. You want to give me one with some more pine nuts? I'm going to stick it in the... That's good. Thanks. So let me show you how I would use it. Who's most likely to touch it here? Not you. I'd say Rocky or Coco. Hi! You want to come up here? So this is Coco's station. So before we open the door, we teach him to station. Good. Bridge when the second foot hits the station. Let's give you some of that. Try some of that. What do you think? Coco! Yeah! So we'll stick that in his water. They usually stick their food in their water anyways. Right, Sook? Okay, let's get started on making some different types of enrichment. Let me flip this around. Stick it back on the tripod. And let's get started on something else. So we have a large variety of different things I really want to try to get to. So this is meant to be with anything that you have around your house. Okay, so paper towel tubes. We use these all the time. We stack them up and save them in a drawer. Let me show you a couple different ways. You want to give me a couple more out of there? Thanks. Thanks, Amanda. So, Coco! You can use these for all the animals, dogs, pigs, whatever. I don't know what you cannot use this with. We use this with the turkey vulture, but you can take these, and we suggest using paper towel rolls. We do this all the time. Sometimes with our parrots, we cut these into quarters. And then we'll warm up the bird's food, pack it in here, and then twist the ends shut. Who do we want to give this to? You can easily do this for something a little longer. We can use, thanks. Yeah? So I got somebody sitting below me that's deaf that has his eyes on this one. Twist the end shut. Drop a couple dog treats in there. Let's turn this around and see. You've heard the roll from the, or the glue from the paper towel rolls I can't see the rest of your comment, but I know what you're going to say, Heather. I've been doing this with my parrots for years. Never had an issue. Want this? Thanks, Rock. We can stick the pig's pellets in there. We do this all the time with the birds. This is how we give them their treats. This is how we warm up some of their foods, their evening foods. So it's just a little added way to occupy time. Okay? And Amanda just brought out something that we use all the time. I need a cameraman. What do you think, Rico? Why don't you come back on your station? So this is something we use quite a bit with the parrots. Hi, Rock! But definitely not limited to. And then we stick the pine nuts in. And what's nice about these is you can stick them in their toys, in their current enrichment toys, and it causes them to start digging through the toys. Rico, you want to come back over here? You're off camera, sweetie. We stick these a lot of times through the cage bars. Something else we can do, like if you're trying to lure a bird to go somewhere. Let's see. You want this? So this becomes a conditioned reinforcer, meaning just the sight of it. We use these as reinforcers for when birds go back to their cages, their enclosures. So here, when we ask an animal to go to an enclosure, we want to make sure they want to go there. So this is how we provide a reinforcer for giving us the behavior we requested. Yeah. Let's move on to, what?
Quincy took the cardboard.
Oh, she took Levi's?
Yeah.
Poor Levi.
It worked.
Yeah, it worked. Let's show some others. So this is really easy stuff anybody can do. Is there one in particular you want to talk about? We got a bunch of different ones to go through, but here is like your Christmas wrapping paper tube. Karen brought this in. She makes wreaths, so she brings in all the tubes from the wreaths. Coco! So this is a little stronger. This is probably going to be harder to cut with scissors. But if you want to make it a little tougher, this is how you add in the complexity. There, it seemed kind of dark. This is how you add in complexity, something you can do with this. Let's see, if you stick a treat in there, it's going to fall right out the other side. So you were talking about recycling your Christmas paper. We don't have any out here, but something we could do. Let me go grab a paper towel. And this is something we talk about a lot in the projects and the memberships. We're always talking about, but we talk about how to increase this complexity. So you just got out a paper cone cup, so that gave me another idea. So were you thinking about sticking this inside?
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and do it?
Sure.
You're going to do this for the birds?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. And then I'll make up one for the dogs.
So, same thing, pine nuts, twisted it off. And take.
Or I would take the harder one. You want to take that one?
This guy. And like she said, this can be used wrapping paper, either the scraps or stuff that people have ripped off. And then I'm going to shove this guy in here. And I'm going to pose it with another piece. And so it's a little more complex than just giving them the cup.
Who you want to try to give that to?
Maybe Murray or Coco.
Yeah, I'd say Coco, Murray, Rocky, Rico.
Well, we're gonna have to go through a door, so maybe not this guy.
Or I can just go hand it to
Or
him.
you
But
can.
he might not interact with it because he knows he's on Coffee with the Critters. He's going to sit right there. You want to hand it to Murray since it's since it's easy? Hi. Rico's like, I want it. So, you guys hear me do talks on contra freeloading. Contra freeloading is when the animal prefers to work for food versus taking free food at equal or less effort. So we see contra freeloading, the animals preferring to work for their food, being as a result of mental and physical enrichment. It's a way they can have more choices incorporated into their environment. They learn through the enrichment. So we have a turkey vulture at the other side of the door. We're going to make her some enrichment here in a second. Hi. So you see how long this is taking him? That's exactly what you want. You want to keep your animal engaged. You want to make sure they don't abandon the toy. If they abandon the toy, it's usually, I call that foraging fallout. Hey, thanks. It's usually for so he's got it. A couple different reasons. They don't understand. It's too complex. These are behaviors you need to shape. We're coming, Rico. Hang on. So look how complex that is. He's hanging on to it with one foot, and so he's not willing to let that tube go yet. So that's a level of complexity. He only has 2 feet and both are occupied. And he's trying to balance and eat at the same time. We're coming, Rico. Hang on. So he's getting all that food out of there. Thanks, Pat. Okay, so let's show the same. I'd be interested to see what he does with that tube afterwards. So obviously that tube is of value because he's hanging on to it. Good idea, Amanda. So let's take that same concept. Milo, the pig, needs to eat his breakfast. Hi. Do you feel comfortable giving Rico a long almond sliver? Let's take this same idea. You want to do it with Willie, the turkey vulture, and Milo, the pig? Okay. So here's taking the same concept, but I'm going to incorporate it a little differently. Levi ate good last night. Just grabbing some of Milo's breakfast. And this is why I say you guys are going to want to eventually, you should want to eventually. You should want to eventually make sure your animal is eating the majority of the food working this way. So I'm taking some of Milo's pellets. This is Milo's breakfast and dinner. You stick that in a bowl, it's going to be gone in about 20 seconds. Yeah. So all I'm doing is taking some of those pellets. Hi. Sticking them in here. Stick them in here. Okay? Take some more of those pellets, stick them in there, crumple them up, stick them over here, crumple them up. And this is his breakfast, okay? The number one issue I get about pigs is aggression. And we're talking about that in the pig project right now, how to redirect that. In order to replace an undesired behavior, in order to change an undesired behavior, you need to replace it with another one. Otherwise, oftentimes, just telling the animal to stop will make the behavior issue a lot worse. So this is only part of Milo's breakfast, but let's see how long it takes him to eat this. Hey, puppy. Let's see what he does. Okay, let me turn the camera around and take you with me. So Murray dropped that tube. Murray's like, next. Let's try this with Milo. So we're having some behavior issues with Milo that we're talking about in the pig project right now. And we are putting a behavior modification plan in place. Here's your breakfast. He's like, what? So see how long it's causing him to move his body. He's learning through consequences. So see how he's starting to use his foot? Pigs don't usually use their feet to have to eat because the majority of their food is just put into a dish, which takes them 5 seconds to eat. We want this lasting a while. So he's got to root through that paper towel to get his pellets. Right there's his pellets. So if he gets through this too fast, then it's time to bump up the level of complexity. Milo's pretty quick. I've been training him since he was about 3 months old. He's just getting ready to turn 4. So if you guys like these ideas, share this. Share this, especially with people around your house at the holidays as an opportunity to educate. Coco! Let's move on to some more. Let's do one with the turkey vulture. Want to? Okay, so with wildlife, education ambassadors, if they're injured and they can't be released, a couple of things can happen to them. Either they get put down, they get sent to another educational facility, or they're kept for education animals. We have Willie the turkey vulture. Coco! Willie the turkey vulture is here for training. She's a ambassador for her species. So let's give Milo some more of his breakfast. Remind me that I haven't fed him all his breakfast yet.
Okay.
Let me show you. You can do this ice block with the turkey vulture. And it used to be said that with wildlife and zoo animals that you didn't want to give them toys because it makes them look like pets. That you wanted to keep them as natural toys. That's something I've never really believed in because enrichment is individualized. And I don't care what it is, as long as it's safe for the animal. We've got to provide things to keep that animal mentally and physically stimulated within its environment. Because I don't care how big the enclosure is, it's still an enclosure, it's still confining. Enrichment helps incorporate choice into the animal's environment. So let's do something for Willie the turkey vulture. Let's say we were going to do this. Or
either this, the one in here.
Yeah. So she needs to eat her brekkie. We showed the other day. Let's see, which one do I want to use? Let's use this. I was thinking about using this or this because when I used to drive to Nature's Nursery, and I used to drive to Nature's Nursery every day, I would stop at Starbucks and pick up a coffee. I didn't care for the coffee, but I knew by the time I made it to White House, Ohio, the coffee would be gone, and this provided enrichment for some kind of animal. So what I would do is stick mealworms inside of here and put paper towels and sprinkle the mealworms, and you could give those to a wide variety of animals out there. I particularly gave it to Pete the... What, Rocky? I gave it to Pete the Blue Jay. But let's try. Just thinking if let's try this with Willie. Rock and roll is right. Yeah. So I need to get some gloves. You want to help me with this? Sure. And then maybe since this is new to Willie, instead of making this a little harder, let's just make it really super simple at first. Or I'll go ahead and grab her mice. And so I'm kind of a freak about cross-contamination here. So we're always washing hands. We're always wearing gloves. We're always dipping our feet in foot baths so we don't cross-contaminate, because you walk through something out there, you could be bringing it on the bottom of your shoes into a bird's cage here. So, hey, TJ, happy belated birthday. Hope to see you in Key West in a couple of months. Let's provide this for Willie. And you want to get some paper towels ready. We'll stick the mice in the paper towels. What do you think, Murray? Okay. Willie is right outside the bird room door. Take these mice and stick them in ice blocks. Stick them on skewers. When I go to give Willie these, will you get a couple of skewers out of the top drawer so we can show, where we keep the skewers, the metal skewers?
And then, over here.
They're right there. See the metal rods on the right? Remind me. Okay. So let's get this ready for Willie, because she's right outside the door. I am going to put a mice in a paper towel. Try not to touch it. And then Coco! We can shove that in a tube. Rocky! So we're showing this because we have a wide variety of animals we care for, and I think providing enrichment is a huge responsibility. It is part of our responsibility as keeping animals. Okay, so this is for Willie. You guys just saw us do this for Peekaboo, Milo the pig, Murray the green wing. Hi. You don't want this, sweetie. And then let's do another one with just the coffee cup, okay? Thank you. And you want to take the camera?
Sure.
And you can set those right there. You want to take the camera, and I'll provide the enrichment for the vulture, and let's see what she does with it.
Okay.
So she's probably, why, thank you, Rocky. She's probably right on the other side of the door. Ready? Be right back. Okay. Sit. Stay. Hey! Quincy, sit. Stay. You need to stay there. We need to get out here. Let's see what she does. Focus on Willie. Let's go ahead and come out and let's leave it out. So if you just want to stay little closer?
Yeah.
There's your cameraman. So we talk about this in the level 2. We were talking about Willie and her enrichment. So this gives Willie something else to do besides like chase people. There you go. And this gives her, so that was easy. We'll spare you. There's her coffee cup. So as you know, or may not know, vultures stand on their food while they eat. They are raptors, but they're scavengers. Their power is in their beak. Or I'm sorry, yeah, their power is in their beak, not their feet like other raptors. So this is why enrichment needs to be individualized. So here she has coffee cup. Hasn't had this before. You got it, sister. That's all that's left. So she really seems to like that tube. The coffee cup is definitely something new. So see how she's standing on it to see if there's any more food left in it. So she needs to pull out the paper towel. Proximity is a reinforcer for aggression with vultures, so I need to be very careful. Okay, so let's, I have another idea for her. And, hey, Vicky. Vicky there works with raptors as well. So I'm going to watch her behavior. So now this is turning into enrichment. What is she doing with it? She likes shredding. So if she likes shredding, yeah, I'm going to want to get out of here pretty quick. Let's go ahead and head back in. Let's go ahead and head back in. Because she's like, next. Nice job, guys. Nice job. Okay, let's talk about the ball. That would be something fairly easy. Merry Christmas to you, Vicky. So, let's see. I'm going to wash my hands because I did touch those cups. Do you want to maybe...
I can talk about this.
Sure, perfect.
So wiffle balls, we use these on toys a lot. But one thing that we can do, especially for Cello the pigeon, is put pine nuts in the ball, and then also put in crinkle paper or any kind of paper, and give that to him. And that way Cello has to kind of work a little bit to get the pine nuts out of the ball. And that's a form of enrichment, for an easy form of enrichment for the pigeon. Something else we do almost daily with Milo the pig is we accumulate a lot of bottles and containers, something like this, little tree container, and drill holes in it and put food in there. And Milo goes to town on these. They don't last super long with the pig, but
we're going to throw them away
works,
anyway.
Yeah, he works really hard to get this stuff out. So, and I know Lara was going to mention boxes. We utilize boxes a lot with Milo and on the bird enrichment and
snow.
And one thing I was just thinking of, Milo actually goes through boxes really, really fast. Goes through everything really fast, but I was just thinking about if we gave him a box with stuff in it and then wrapped it with scrap wrapping paper, that's another layer of complexity and another layer of something he has to go through. Just, you know, give you an extra few minutes,
yeah,
maybe, but that's something that you could easily do.
Yeah, and with saying that, so that box Milo could get through fairly quickly. Let me show you, it's the same concept with this. These pellets are fairly small. They're going to fall through this hole real fast. So a way to make that take longer, and we talked about this in the pig project, is we put the pellets in the paper towel, sprinkle a couple extra here, so it takes longer for the pellets to be dispensed because they have to come out or go around that paper towel. You can do that with boxes as well. I'm going to take all the pellets out because wrapping them in the paper towel is going to make them come out too slowly, and he's probably going to abandon it. So this is a way, and even make the paper towel smaller. There's a couple more toys I really want to get through because they're really good. So let's try that. Right? Let's give Milo some more of his breakfast.
And with the wrapping paper, like Lara said earlier, no enrichment is 100% safe. So if you were to have a pig or a dog that likes to eat paper, maybe don't use wrapping paper.
Yeah.
Maybe try something else.
Yeah, it's all individualized. So when I start giving an animal enrichment, Milo's like, it's my turn again. I can tell. We always watch to make sure they're not ingesting anything. You can see all the boxes we've given there in the past. So see, bam, a few pieces came out, but that paper towel is going to hold the rest back from coming out too fast. And it'll keep him engaged with that toy, and you'll be able to hear how long he stays engaged with it. You can easily do this for the parrots as well, and hang that on a skewer or a metal rod. Hi! I do want to talk about this one toy pretty quick because Karen, if you remember, remind me to order 10 of these. These are fabulous, and I can't remember even where we got them, but they're acrylic balls. We use these for Kronos, the African pied crow from the zoo that we enriched here, and we would stick dog food in it, and but we wrap it in paper towels. This is nice because we use this with Willie as well. We stuck her mice in here because this twists apart. This can go in the dishwasher, easily cleaned. That's right, Rock. So you can stick her mice in there. With the crow, we put paper towels in here and sprinkled bird food, dangled it from the chain, so that was an extra level of complexity. And maybe we contact Karen, this company or some other toy companies, and see if we can get discounts for people that are members or in projects. Because something else you can do is give this to the parrots. Give this to the parrots. Fill it full of scrambled eggs, cooked in coconut oil. You can give this to zoo animals. This would be great for zoo animals. Stick it on a skewer, hang it. And so what's really cool is as the animal tries to go get it, it moves. This is why we put a lot of toys on chains here to increase complexity. But they have to get their scrambled eggs from here. Yeah, so if you guys are liking this, make sure, please feel free to share it. Also, I want to say that Facebook is changing their algorithms, so you'll see not a lot of posts showing up or people commenting on posts as much anymore. So to be sure not to miss a live stream, follow this page or turn on your notifications. So anyways, a ball screws on to the other end. This can be used on absolutely any animal here. Even with Snow, our deaf and blind dog, this might be something that we can put treats in and hang. We put chains through here, and this hangs on a chain, and a chain provides more complexity. So when you can even put pine nuts in paper towels. So you can put pine nuts in paper towels so you can, it takes them longer to get this out of here. And then you can just throw it back in the dishwasher. Go ahead.
Another thing with this is if you want to make it a little bit more complicated, put an ice cube of treats in this so that they're having to work through these slits in the acrylic ball to lick the ice to melt and get the treats. Another thing is we put pate in this rubber ball and froze it. You could put that in here.
That's a good idea.
And that's going to make it even maybe
Longer.
too hard depending on the animal. But you can see.
Yeah, because this is a fairly easy foraging toy. We freeze these and keep these in the house. Pate can be going in each one of these, and then those freeze. That takes a while to get out there, but once it starts coming out, it comes out fairly easy. So like Amanda said, maybe you could then take that and stick that in that ball. Hi, you don't want this.
And Shelly, I saw you mention Nutriberries. We've been drilling holes in these wooden balls and smashing Nutriberries in here and just handing it to the birds. Mm-hmm. That's quick and easy.
Mm-hmm. Very easy. I'm going to give this to Levi. So something else why pay attention to the individual is Levi he's a bulldog, so his face is a little different. So sometimes it's harder for him to get certain toys and treats. I'm not going to hold it for you. Toys and treats. It's not as easy because of the shape of his face. So something else I want to share real quick. Gosh, we have so many toys to get through and we can't get through them. But that's why this is what we do in our projects and our memberships. These are very basic, very do-it-yourself, something easy for you to do. If you want to see the capacity to where we take these, take a look at our memberships, our online memberships and projects. Those are weekly live streams, monthly Q&As, interviews, paper reviews, projects, live stream reviews of your training with your animals. The projects are species specific. If you're only interested in working with certain animals, the memberships include podcasts and are more intricate. Level 1 is for the companion animal lover. Level 2 is for the professional trainer, or people who want to know more about how to use applied behavior analysis with animals, such as with a lot of zookeepers, some BCBAs. Here's another one. So I took a paper cone cup and I put just a few in the tip, and then I wrapped it and I cut the top off of it. We take, this is a part, this is cheap, easy, lasts a long time. This is plastic conduit that you can get from a hardware supply store, and then we shove them, and depending on the level of complexity, we push them in further, further, further. I give it, you want this? You look so motivated. He's got 2 pieces of wood, one in his mouth, one in his foot. You want that? It's going to take him a while. It's too long. Here, if you drop it, I'll give it back to you. He says, nope, it's going to push you off your perch. There we go. There he's got it. So he's looking in the other end, nothing there. Rico is our master forager here. He's probably, between him and Milo the pig, they're probably 2 of our hardest animals to enrich, would you say?
Yeah.
We always say, are you staring at your handsome self? The more intelligent the animal, the harder it is to keep. So be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you want. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Okay, let's do this one real quick. Okay, so easy. We bought these for Thanksgiving. You can quickly, easily drill holes in this, or even stick a box knife in it and make the holes. Stick your dog's kibble in here. Enrichment isn't a suggestion, it's a must. If your animal is not engaging or interacting with toys, it's our responsibility. I feel it's our responsibility to train them, okay? We could fill this full of kibble. We can, be careful with the parrots because this could cause nesting behavior, but you could easily, if you wanted to do it with parrots, you could easily put this on a skewer, I can't find the top, and hang it, okay? Which we have a very nesty bird, which is behind us, and we don't like to reinforce nesting behavior because it oftentimes reinforces aggression. There you go. And then you can stick the food inside of there. I think, let's use this for the parrots because I think they're going to destroy this. Okay, so one of the other ones we wanted to get to was you can do a world of enrichment with PVC. There is PVC in almost every enclosure. We make toys out of PVC. As you can tell, we make jungle gyms, not just for parrots, out of PVC. And I really wanted to get to this because you can get into some real complex enrichment with PVC, but we're running out of time. So, but this is something we focus on in the projects and in the memberships. It's not too late. Tomorrow is Christmas. If you have the animal lover on your Christmas list that you have not yet got them something, the memberships and the projects are annual subscriptions. So that is the gift that keeps on giving all year long. And you can find those on our website at theanimalbehaviorcenter.com, or just message me right now and I'll get the voucher to the one on your Christmas list. So I wanted to thank Amanda.
Yeah.
You want to come back in the screen?
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, especially this Christmas Eve. So thank you for being here.
No
I
problem.
appreciate this. I was like, oops, I forgot. Sunday's Christmas Eve. So hope everybody enjoyed. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. I hope you guys have a fabulous Christmas, and we'll see you.
Are there any comments you wanted to? There's some longer ones. I don't know if you want to look through.
There's usually what I do after the live stream is over is I sit down at the computer and go back and answer your guys' questions. Cool. So if you guys have any questions, email us or message us. Otherwise, Merry Christmas. We will see you next Sunday on Coffee with the Critters. You can check out the topic for next week on our website at theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. And thank you for Manager Karen Pratt for posting those for us. Happy holidays, everybody.
Bye.
See ya. Take pictures. Show us what you're making. Thanks, Diane. Merry Christmas to you.